Hi neighbor, my name is Laird Davis and the monsters roam the night and the lanterns glow bright for our Halloween episode. Today, Annie and I will carve some jack-o'-lanterns, Callie will learn about the zombie outbreak in the library, and all of us will showcase our costumes to determine whose is the most interesting. Join me as I say, hi neighbor.
Hi neighbor, it's October, and if you want to fully participate in one of the best months of the year, you have to carve pumpkins. Laird and Annie will each carve a pumpkin, and I'll decide whose is the most creative. All right, guys, have you ever carved a pumpkin before?
I've done it a few times. It's been a while actually, but it was always a fun family pastime to kind of get into the spirit of Halloween. Each of us would make our own, and it's a bit of a mess, but it was fun.
What about you, Annie?
This is my first time carving a pumpkin solo without the fam, so let's see how it's gonna go, you guys.
All right, well, Laird, what are some of your favorite fall traditions?
Fall traditions, well, I love autumn. It's probably my favorite season of the year. And Halloween's a great part of that. I love seeing people out in costume, kind of getting into the spirit of things. Trick-or-treating is fun for me on either end of it. I love handing out candy to children and to happy families. We have a few fun events around campus where trick-or-treaters will actually come to the dorms and you get to do that. So that's always fun. I also just enjoy the food, the pumpkin spice, the apple cider, various pumpkin dishes. It's all nice.
It's one of my favorite parts too. What about you, Annie? What are some of your favorite fall traditions?
My favorite fall tradition is piling a bunch of leaves and jumping inside. Still to this day, I think that's so fun. I also love pumpkin spice tea, pumpkin spice lattes, the whole shebaz. What about you, Callie?
I agree with the food aspect. I love a good pumpkin pie.
Yes.
So, what are your Halloween plans, Annie?
My Halloween plans, so I'm supposed to go to Charlotte tonight, actually, for a Halloween-themed event downtown, and then I will be back for work, and then a Halloween party here in Boone.
Awesome. So, Laird, what are your Halloween plans?
So I'm going to be here in town, celebrating with some of my roommates, probably going to a haunted trail and watching some scary movies.
Cool. So what do you have planned for your jack-o'-lantern?
So I am going to keep it simple. I'm just going for a sort of like sly, winky face type thing. Basically just making an emoji with my pumpkin. But simplicity is beauty, especially with pumpkins.
So do you have any tactics you use when you're carving a jack-o'-lantern?
So it's always good to keep in mind the angles because you want the light to come through clearly once you install that lighting feature. So being careful to draw cut straight in regardless of the, keeping in mind the curvature of the pumpkin is something I try to keep in mind, as well as not cutting too many elaborate designs because you might just possibly have the whole thing fall apart and then you got to start over. So.
Yep, sounds like you got it down to a science.
I suppose so.
Annie, what do you have planned for your jack-o'-lantern?
So I have a cat planned. How well it's gonna look, we do not know, but like I said, this is my first time, so I'm really just taking it as it goes. This is a lot harder than I thought. It's a lot more tough, and the tools are actually bending.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Do you have any tactics you're using to make your cat?
Tactics? Just really stabbing hard and sawing through. That's really my technique right now. I don't have one.
Got you. Well, what's one of your favorite Halloween memories from growing up?
Okay, favorite Halloween memory. Do you guys remember the movie When a Stranger Calls?
Yes.
So I did that to my friend on Halloween. I rang her doorbell and scared her and called her like that and left the door open and stuff and really freaked her out. And now she hates hanging out with me on Halloween.
Oh, good. What about you, Laird? What's one of your favorite Halloween memories?
So I always did enjoy the process of getting dressed up. I was never very good at picking out costumes, but there was one year where I was inspired and I made, on my own with my dad's help, a table where it had one of those serving platters on top, and my head was the dish.
Oh, okay.
So I just had this whole table set up. There were plates, utensils, everything everything was glued down, and then there was the serving platter with me as the main course. So
Got you.
That's a pretty fond memory for me.
Yeah. Did you grow up trick-or-treating?
I trick-or-treated all the way through age 13, I think.
Okay.
And then it was really my responsibility to mind the front door while my parents enjoyed, movies and a few drinks. So,
Got you. So what was one of your favorite costumes that you dressed as when you trick-or-treated?
So as I mentioned, the table idea was probably my most inspired one, but I've dressed as Power Rangers, as like clone troopers from Star Wars. I had a really nice Ghostbuster outfit one time with like an inflatable backpack. It was really cool, but the backpack actually popped halfway through.
Awesome.
So I think those are some of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Annie, did you grow up trick-or-treating?
Of course I did.
Awesome. What was one of your favorite costumes that you dressed as?
Oh, favorite costume? Trick-or-treating? Or
Yeah.
just in general? Trick-or-treating. I was Elle Woods one year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I had the whole pink get-up, a purse, and a stuffed chihuahua.
I love that movie.
Right, it was great. I felt like it really fit the part. And then recently, my favorite costume I had was actually hot sauce. I was
Okay.
a sriracha bottle.
That's
that
hilarious.
was really fun.
So when you think of fall, what comes to mind?
Ooh, when I think of fall, I think orange, yellow, and red. And I think of the Parkway and acorns and pumpkin spice.
Yeah? Are you going to go to the Parkway while the leaves are all changed?
For sure, I do need to get out there. I've been slacking this whole semester, honestly.
It's okay, you have time. Laird, when you think of fall, what do you think of?
I definitely think of the leaves. I think of lots of yard work, and I just think of warm clothing, cozy afternoons, soft blankets, and curling up with a hot drink.
Great. All right, well, I'm going to let them finish carving their pumpkins, and when we come back, I'll judge whose is the best. All right, neighbors, Laird and Annie have been hard at work, and on the count of 3, they're going to reveal their pumpkins. 1, 2, 3. These look great, guys. As you guys can see, these are awesome pumpkins. Annie, will you tell me a little bit about yours more?
Yeah, for sure. So this, like I said, was my very first time ever carving a pumpkin, and I actually did the stencil of a cat. How cat-like it looks. I think it came out pretty well for myself, and I just really jabbed at it and carved a lot.
Awesome, it looks great.
Nice.
What about you, Laird?
So it's been my first time carving a pumpkin in a long time, and so I thought I'd just keep it simple. I went for a simple, winky face with some jagged teeth, and I just feel like it's a very classic pumpkin in the spirit of Halloween, and you really can't go wrong. So that's why I chose this design.
Yeah, it looks great. Honestly, both of you did so good, and it's really hard to pick a winner, but I think I'm going to have to go with Annie for her creativity.
Yes!
It looks great.
All right, fair is square.
Coming up, I'll check in with the Belk Library and hear what fun Halloween activities are going on this week. The Belk Library is normally a place to study and get all of your assignments done, but this month, in the spirit of Halloween, they're changing it up. I'm here with Molly Pueller. Molly, can you tell me a little bit about the event you have coming up?
Sure. So it's Human vs. Zombies, an event that we did 4 years ago, and it was so popular that we're doing it again. It's tonight from 9:30 to 11:30, but I would show up at 9 if you're going to attend. The first group of students that do show up will get Nerf guns to use. Students can also bring their own unmodified Nerf guns as well. It's basically tag with Humans vs. Zombies, pretty basic rules. Most students that show up know how it works, but we will have the rules posted, and there will be snacks provided as well. And we'll probably play a few rounds until one or a few zombies are left alive.
Awesome. So how did this event come about?
Honestly, I can't speak too accurately to it historically 4 years ago. I wasn't here 4 years ago, but there were a couple other librarians that had the great idea. They partnered with Nerd Network, who's helped in the past with marketing, makeup, getting the word out there. And it was so popular, several hundred students actually showed up, that we thought, why not do it again?
Awesome. So what all goes into the planning of an event like this?
Sure. Well, fortunately, we did have the planning documents from the past year saved, so we didn't have to redo too much. But the basic, looking at the rules, planning budget, contacting Nerd Network, creating marketing materials, creating a hashtag, and the library itself, getting it ready. So we're going to be caution taping off some areas that we don't want students to go into, getting volunteers to sign up, which it is a later event, 9:30 to 11:30. So having staff and faculty available to help is also a part of the planning as well.
Great. So will students have free reign of the library? They can go anywhere except for those caution taped off places?
Yeah, except for the caution tape areas, they can go from lower level to the 4th floor, actually. Again, we will have some things closed off, and there's some safe spaces as well. The stairwells, for example, those aren't going to be action areas. If someone needs to duck into a stairwell, they can be safe there and not get darted with a Nerf gun or infected by a zombie.
Awesome. So how should students dress, and should they bring anything with them?
Sure. So if they want to bring their own Nerf guns, they can, as long as they are unmodified. That's just for safety reasons, and we don't have a way to check the guns to make sure they're safe. And as far as dress, just dress comfortably. I can't speak specifically to the language, but following the same rules as costume rules for campus generally. So no covered faces, that type of thing.
Okay. And so what are you most excited for about the event?
Who doesn't love humans versus zombies, right? I've watched videos and heard stories from the past, and it was so popular. The library is traditionally about research and those types of more traditional services, and I'm just really excited to get to interact with students in this non-traditional way.
Cool.
And I am serving as a staff volunteer, but I hope that I can be a zombie for a moment and infect a few students or staff.
So will there be any officiators or referees, kind of?
Yeah, so there's going to be volunteers on each floor, and they'll be serving several roles. So making sure that nothing is getting damaged in the library, and just making sure that the general rules are being followed.
Great. So does Belk Library have anything else planned for the fall season?
In regards to events
Yep.
for students? Oh, well, I'm sure that we do. I know that my team, which is Technology Services, I can't speak to anything at this time, but stay tuned to the library social media, and anything that is upcoming will be posted there.
Awesome. So anything else to add about the Belk Library or this event in general?
Just get there and have fun. Again, several hundred students showed up last year, and I'd hate if we had to turn people away. So if you're planning on coming, get there around 9 if you can.
Awesome.
I look forward to seeing everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much, Molly.
You're welcome.
The Human vs. Zombies event is from 9:30 to 11:30 p.m. in the Belk Library, so don't miss out on the festivities. Coming up, we'll have our newest installment of Meet Your Neighbor, and we'll take a look at some fall foliage.
Hi neighbor, I'm Logan Berg and I'm Vice President of the National Broadcasting Society. The reason I love Boone is that it's a small little town, it's quaint, and it has a real sense of community.
Hi neighbor, my name is Dejan Milborn. I currently serve as your student body president. And I love Boone because ever since I entered into this community, I felt like I've been a part of a family that's much bigger than myself.
Hi neighbor, my name is Callie Cressley and I'm the president of the Advocates Promoting Positive Self-Image. The reason I love the Boone community is because everybody is so connected by our love for nature and exploring the beautiful mountains around us.
Our crew on Hi Neighbor is going to present our costumes head to toe, so you let us know who has the best one.
Thank you for joining us today on this episode about the spookiest month of the year, October. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchAppTV and check out our YouTube channel at AppTV for more content. Until next time, bye neighbor.